Will you be my darling dear? Love you all the time. I'm just a fool in love with you. Ah, I got that vibe coming in for you, Aquarius. I am here to give you a read straight from the hip with lots of lip and a dose of nostalgia. The energy coming in for you all with this Venus conjunction is wild. It is a trip back down memory lane. It's a back to the future moment. I got teen dream vibes. I got sense of extra Aquanet super hold. Aquanet extra super hold and Love's Baby Soft. I got like just lots of days gone by. I think you're connecting with somebody after a time of separation, after a time of misunderstanding, after a time of some BS between you, just getting, too soft into what doesn't really matter at the end of the day. I feel like you're really rising above this, kind of pettiness when you really look at it. You're looking at the bigger picture. You're looking at what's real for you. The reality is you have a connection with somebody. You have a connection with somebody that reminds you of a part of yourself that you feel like you kind of lost a while back there. There's something here about this feeling of soul reconnection when you connect with this person. It's not just a thing, though, of like having somebody come back around the bend after some time apart. It's more like soul reconnection within yourself. It's like there's a part of you that you've needed to call back for a long time, but it involves closing the gap with somebody on the other end of that line. That's what I got. Okay. There's something coming in here. And absolutely, this applies even with somebody that more recently, but you just have a very deep soul connection with this person. And maybe you've let something silly come between the two of you. Maybe you've let pride come between the two of you. Maybe you've just let, maybe it's an outdated perception, maybe looking at somebody through the filter of an old lens and things have been updated. It's not the way it was back then. There's some piece of this um, coming in here, and I'm really excited to drop into this energy with you all. I was really feeling the Venusian vibes. I feel like you're really coming into this space. It's interesting. There's like a big moment. All right, we got the Venus Jupiter conjunction today, went down today. And hopefully, if you're in a place in the northern hemisphere where you got good visibility, you'll be able to see them sauntering in on that night sky. It's really something beautiful to behold. So if you haven't taken in the view yet of that planetary action, I really encourage you to do so. There's just something so magical about it. Just seeing them dance there together in the moonlight. It's just really a beautiful thing. It captures a whole sort of magic and expansive energy coming in that's also got like this softening and this beauty and this sweetness to it. It's a little bit of wild magic coming in after what's been some heavy times for people. I feel like you went through some really heavy times before coming back around the bend with this person that you're reconnecting with. Um, I am picking up big like soulmate vibes here. Um, Something about this person helps you connect with a part of yourself that um, I feel like you have trouble accessing a certain part of yourself. Again, it has this piece of you left it back there somewhere, and for some reason this person helps you find the way to call it home. Okay, I'm not sure what that's about. Maybe some of you have a real deep healing process to go through. Maybe some of you are in need of some kind of like soul retrieval kind of work, you know, just calling back a part of yourself. For some of you, this could be calling back your power. Um, for some of you, this is, some kind of communication, something that was left unsaid, something that needs to be spoken, that provides some kind of release, a release that allows you to move into expansion, allows you to maybe move out of some heaviness that you've been carrying around like a load for a while that you haven't needed to. Um, there's something here. Something from the past is coming back around the bend. And it has some sweet nostalgic vibes around it. And it also has a certain softness and tenderness around it. There's light being shed on an area, and where at first when you had this person I'm feeling it's almost confrontational, like maybe it wasn't even meant to be that way, but maybe when you recently connected with this person in recent times, having them around you, kind of, it was a different kind of focus. It was a different kind of light. It might have seemed almost like the light was a little bit glaring, just what it revealed to you, certain truths that had to be acknowledged that sort of disrupted your life, maybe inconvenient truths. That's an interesting piece. Maybe it was inconvenient to realize that something was being highlighted that really needed to be looked at, something that needed to be healed. I do feel there's been some heaviness to sort through, but there's something that's coming back around the bend, and there's a softer focus. That's what I feel. It's softer, and it's sort of meant to be at this time for you to connect with this person. It's leading to a deep healing. I really feel, and I feel like the healing has everything to do with you finally coming back home within yourself, because there's been a part of you that's just sort of been connected to another time, another place, um, for too long. Something about connecting with this person will help you fill those gaps, and it brings this real sense of reunion. But what I'm really getting is like soul reunion. I feel this very strongly. Bottom of the deck, that's the truth. Ace of Swords, Umabel. Affinity and friendship. Obtain the friendship of anyone. Yeah, maybe you thought that you would never reconnect with this person. Maybe you thought you would never see this person again. Um, Maybe that just seemed like a total shot in the dark, but something is lining up for you. Ace of Swords, this is the truth. Ace of Swords, this is the beginning of contact, the beginning of communication, the beginning of seeing the truth, having those scales fall from the eyes, and really recognizing the truth. And once the truth is recognized, there's no way to hold it in. You have to let that truth out. You have to speak it. Umabel, God above all names elevated. Mm. It also involves you deciding to take some kind of action. Yes, we definitely got a very important soulmate connection here. Next card we have is Amiel. It's all basis of matter. Um, Joy of God. Joy and pleasure brings happiness to couples, removes negative energy. Yeah, this is beautiful. So I get that there was something that has kept you separated from this person. Time, the marching on of the years in some cases. In some cases, it's been a long time since you've connected with this person. It could also be a little bit of like star-crossed lovers kind of energy, like, so close, but just missed it. Just kind of keep missing the opportunity. Maybe had like near misses before this, direct contact comes. That's what I feel. Yeah, I feel like you're building up to this. It's got big, full realization coming through with the changing of the nodes of destiny in July when Aries takes over the north node and Libra the south node. Feel that very strongly. But I think there's something that is set in motion by this Venus Jupiter conjunction that gets things heading in that direction. I feel first it's sort of the awakening of truth within yourself, how you feel about this person, how you feel about this situation, and acknowledging those feelings, acknowledging that you feel drawn to reconnect with this person, acknowledging that, hey, I left something back there. There's something that I need to communicate. I have something I need to say. Understanding that this is part of your soul's work, and it's something you're meant to take action on. I do see you taking action, and what a beautiful result. 10 of Cups, Heliel, God, Master of the Universe. This lighting is so soft, it's hard for me to see the little words on these cards. So trying to find the best angle here for the light to filter in. Maybe that's something you need to work on, and just sort of like see how you can shift your perspective a little bit to start moving out of sort of the heaviness of all the rough stuff that went down or all the things that have been kind of like weighing on you recently. Just so you can open up the view that maybe things are better than you think they are, this kind of peace coming in. Divine warrior, confounds the wicked, brings victory and peace. Okay, so this is what I'm getting. I feel like a lot of you are having some kind of love story play out, and this is coming through very strongly as a love story. Um, I have to call it how I see it. So if you're not feeling in the love vibe, this might not be a reading for you. I just got to keep it real, okay? But I can't block the message that wants to come through. This is definitely a love story. This is about soul connection, soul reconnection. In some cases, this is about soul retrieval. It's about calling your power back. But there's a real sense of fulfillment that comes forward through this, and it's all being very much divinely orchestrated. If you're somebody who doesn't connect with divinity in that sense, you have more of a spirituality that or a philosophy of life rather than having like a set view of any kind of deity or anything like that. This is you just really coming into alignment with your higher consciousness, with the part of you that has grown, that has evolved, that has moved beyond the wounds and is now getting to the place where you're actually seeing the gift that's come through that. There's a certain medicine that's come forward in you. There's a certain healing process underway. And this medicine is strengthened by kind of coming back around the bend and making contact with this person again. It brings some kind of deep fulfillment. It also is really telling me the story of lovers who have been kept apart by outside circumstances. Again, just that star-crossed, near misses. I am getting a little piece that maybe there was opposition, outside opposition, interference. Maybe there were people trying to keep you apart, maybe by trying to poison, you against each other, maybe gossip, maybe this created misunderstanding, something along these lines. Maybe somebody was going through something really heavily emotionally that had nothing to do with the relationship, and they didn't feel like burdening the other with that. And so they kept it inside and instead grew kind of cold and distant. And this created a misunderstanding in the connection. This created a separation. I also feel like this connection has such intensity to it that at one point you had to get breathing room because it was almost like there was so much enmeshment that you really couldn't tell, what am I feeling here? Is this my energy? Is this their energy? There's some peace about this. It's a very powerful connection. You definitely have a soul connection here. This is like soul recognition. And something about reconnecting with this person helps you reconnect with a soul part um, that was left behind long ago. I don't know if you're familiar with soul retrieval. If you're not, you might want to look into it. It's something that's looked at within shamanism, but you'll also hear it come up in psychotherapy. And it's about calling back aspects of ourself that have fragmented off, that have kind of stayed stuck at a certain place, a certain point in time in our consciousness that keeps us fixated there and acts as a tether that simultaneously has us feeling like something's missing, like I don't feel the same since I had that experience. And then on the other end, creates a feeling of not being able to fully move forward, you know, not being able to fully move forward. So there's something that's being addressed here. This reconnection brings about healing. This reconnection brings about fulfillment. It brings about happiness, and it helps bring together what's been separated. Sometimes by outside interference, I'm getting it. It's coming in. So before I move forward with these angel cards, we got to look at the other side here. We have to look at the shadow aspect. It's necessary with the interplay we got going on. You do have Pluto about to go into your sign where, it's going to be hanging out for 20 years. This is really significant cycle that is having a major effect on the future. And Pluto, can bring with it a lot of that shadow energy, the need for integration. So I have to look at this piece because I'm seeing this kept apart. This isn't for everybody, but when I get drawn to pull out the occult deck, sometimes there's an application here. All right, so um, I'm just getting the piece that I'm kind of like feeling it buzzing in from the collective. Like maybe some of you feel like somebody did some kind of like working to try to break up your union intentionally or try to willfully keep you apart. Let's look into that. Let's go ahead and see. Let's see, has there been any magical interference in this situation for the Aquarius collective? It looks like if there was, this situation is being rectified. It looks like this is being overcome, right? No weapon formed against you shall prosper. That message seems to be front and center. This is something that it's meant to happen. It was about timing. Timing has a big part to do with it, but I'm just going to see, was there any thwarting work on a magical level that was coming your way? I want to pay attention to this. What's on the bottom of the deck here? We got Two of Pentacles, Amon, reveals the past and the future, reconciles friends and enemies. That's a very interesting message here. Ooh, and what's behind that? Two of Cups, Solos, causes the love of women to men and of men to women. Ooh, and then right behind that, we have Death, Lucifer, provides liberation and illumination, incites jealousy and envy. I think we got a direct hit here. Yes, Two of Pentacles, this Amon here. Two of Pentacles is very much this energy of trying to create a sense of imbalance. I noticed like this kind of like lemur look here. This is like reminding me of, not my circus, not my monkeys. I don't know if these are sort of like a flying monkeys kind of energy. Somebody's sending out people to cause confusion, to cause interference, to cause division. Maybe working from this angle, maybe working socially to cause some kind of deception, some kind of division. There's reconciliation here, but it says reconciles friends and enemies. So that's an interesting piece, okay? Maybe you thought somebody was your enemy, but they're actually not, maybe that is what kind of brings you back on the same page with this person. Maybe somebody lied to you about this individual. We do see that the motivation would be jealousy and envy. This came to light. There's some kind of awareness of this. Maybe somebody that you were a friend with, somebody you were connected to, they were kind of causing this disruption between the two of you, so you had to kind of cut ties, get distance from this friend so you could see things clearly. And when you did, you realized that they were interfering and creating division because something came to light for you. You saw the truth about this person, and then you realized what was really going on. Okay, but was there any kind of love working, or any kind of like trying to disrupt a connection working? Let's see if there's any magical. Well, we got in reverse here, the 10 of Wands. Marbas causes and cures diseases, tells secrets and things hidden, can make one shapeshift. Yeah, I mean, look at this. This is interesting. Look at this lion energy here. It's like big, like kind of checkmate sort of energy. Um, this is in reverse. So I feel like something was exposed with that lion energy. With the wands, fire, it's making me think Leo. So I don't know if there's a Leo connection. Maybe you learned a secret about this person. Maybe there was something you weren't aware of. Maybe you realized that, this person kind of put on a false face with you. This is also in reverse. Is this whole deck in reverse? It is. Let me turn it up right. I gotta take this though. Five of Wands, Agaris, teaches languages, causes earthquakes, overthrows politicians or clergymen, returns those who have run away. Okay, so I feel like this has a big kind of feel of like throws rocks and then tries to hide their hands. So I think maybe you have a connection with somebody, and this person might have come across like they were being helpful to you, or they had your best interests at heart, or maybe they were giving you some kind of advice. But maybe you're starting to realize that this person was actually interfering in something you were trying to bring together, because Five of Wands, when it's upright, it's kind of a competitive, combative kind of energy. When I see this in reverse, I feel like the conflict is ended because you exposed, you saw what was really going on. Maybe you called this person out on what they were doing. This caused the person to book it right quick. They didn't want any of that smoke, that kind of energy. Interesting. Okay. Anything you can tell us? Is there anything that needs to be done to clear any kind of energy? I mean, I think there's interference here. Um, I haven't seen like indications of like an actual working. It looks more like working manipulatively, just like kind of working emotionally, implanting ideas, spreading gossip or otherwise causing interference, sending out the flying monkeys, getting other people on board, maybe to team up, gang up against somebody. Okay, this coming in, I'm not sure what that's about. You'll have a better idea than me. Nine of Wands, Marcosius, a strong and faithful fighter, follows all commands and answers all questions. Okay, and what's on the other side here? Two of Wands, Epos, tells of the past and the future, can make one intelligent and bold. Okay, so this is really telling me that I think that, when you actually get to reconnect with this person, you're going to get a certain insight that you didn't have before. Something's going to be revealed. And when you reconnect with this person, what comes through your communication is really going to illuminate how somebody was working against you, that you thought was somebody who was very loyal to you. Okay. It has kind of like a frenemy sort of energy. You're going to realize that you were blocking the wrong person. That's what I got. This is coming through very strongly. You were trying to protect yourself from the wrong person. It's sort of like an enemy in the camp kind of vibe. That's what I got. But you're reconnecting with this person. You're going to understand that this person is very loyal to you, actually. You're going to be quite surprised. And you're going to discover that those of you who have been separated from this person for a long period of time are going to find that that loyalty never went anywhere, despite outside circumstances, despite time and distance. I feel like you're going to get on the same page with each other to like kind of like um, put some shit on pause. That's what I got. Okay. Interesting. Really interesting message. This is pretty wild, right? Yeah, Three of Cups. There's healing coming in here. Fusion. Three of Cups. Look at that bear. That bear is tripping. He almost looks like, oh my God, I don't know why I got this, but such a weird, such a weird message. I don't know if you all have been maybe working with something to kind of like deal with your frustration. I don't know if you've been working with some kind of martial art. I'm picking up like specifically like kung fu or um, tai chi, something where you're like working with the energy. Uh, could be oh gosh, what is it? Oh, I'm trying to remember the martial art. They're all different. Judo. You might be working a bit with this. I'm also kind of picking up this meditation piece. Like you've really been trying to stay in your center. Maybe you've been very activated in this situation. Gives dignities and honors. Yeah, I think you felt very protective over someone too. I got like big, it reminds me of that scene, in Enter the Dragon. In Enter the Dragon. Oh, I don't know where this is coming in from, but reminds me of the scene in Enter the Dragon, where he's trying to find the enemy and he's in the hall of mirrors, and he's simultaneously like breaking the mirrors so he knows where his opponent is. But there's this piece too about shattering your own illusions, like seeing things in a different way. But I saw his hands like this, I just heard that like, whoa. Yeah, I think that you're like just, you're just cutting through some BS, man, you know? And you feel like it's really important. You feel like it's really important once you discover the truth. You feel like something needs to be righted here. It's important that some kind of dignity is restored. That's what I got. Very interesting. Okay. With that Three of Cups energy, I think really it's just about keeping your focus on healing. Be open to healing and maybe bringing forward, a bit of compassion as well. Bringing forward a bit of compassion and understanding that, you know, if somebody acted out, if somebody caused dissension, if they're coming from a place of envy, then they're in a place where, they're feeling very, very unfulfilled in their lives and also just completely disconnected from themselves to cause damage like that. Yeah, we got Seven of Cups on the bottom of the deck, so I'm putting it in the bag. We're gonna bag this up. This is like the end of illusion. I think there's a lot of illusions that are being dispelled. I think that you're seeing ways that you didn't accurately see the truth in a situation. I feel like you're not the only one. Okay. So there's been some kind of like glamour casting here. I don't think that there's any need to, do any kind of clearing work per se, other than just, you know, just clearing your own stuff out of the way and taking responsibility for your truth and what you're feeling in the situation. And as these things become um, illuminated for you, acting on them in a way that feels in alignment with your truth while also having some compassion. Um, very interesting. Very interesting. You're in some kind of healing process. I feel like it brings a lot of different things together. Let me go ahead and get another pass here. with these angel cards, and then see where they lead us, and maybe we'll pull out a different deck just to get some more messages for you. You know, it's a very interesting time. Very interesting time. There's a lot of people are coming back around the bend, reconnecting with us that we haven't seen for a long time. And there's something about this timing piece that things have to line up in just such a way for it to be the right opportunity for this person to come in. And the scope of your connection may be very different. It may not look like what it's been before. That may very well be a really good thing. It might be the best thing in the world that it doesn't look like what it was before. Maybe there's some growth that needed to happen. There was some time and space that was needed to get a new view of the situation. Yeah, Six of Swords, Anuel, the gentle God. Perception of unity protects against accidents, heals the sick, okay? Heals the sick. So maybe there's some kind of sickness that needed to be healed in order for you all to be able to come together. I have a couple different messages coming in with that too. I feel like somebody was dealing with a family member that was really ill. Maybe that family member needed some kind of hospice. Maybe they really needed you to be present, and you could not pour energy into this connection at that time. Maybe you felt like it was a missed opportunity. That might have weighed heavily on you, but your priority was showing up for this important time of transition for your loved one. I do feel like your loved one passed in that case. Um, mhm, mhm. I'm sorry, I'm getting like a download like right now. Yes. There's somebody that's like coming through, okay? There's somebody who's coming through. Somebody was a loved one. I'm picking up. It feels like a very maternal energy. I'm just gonna bring it in. It feels like a very maternal energy. This this person struggled for a long time with mental illness, and um, mm, they may have chosen to move on because it was such a struggle. And this message is kind of coming through from them. I'm seeing like roses, and roses are always like this extension of love, recognition of love. And I'm also feeling like this energy is bringing in this quality of forgiveness, um, and this understanding that um, there's peace now. There's peace. That suffering, that sickness is not there anymore, and they want you to know that um, you don't need to worry. You haven't inherited what they felt was their curse in this life, just struggling with the mental challenges they had. It was very difficult for them, but they want you to know that you have protection against this. You don't have to take that on, um, and that you don't need to worry. You don't have to worry that you have inherited these same kind of mental afflictions. Maybe you did feel like that when you lost your loved one. Maybe you felt like you were losing it. Maybe it scared you. Maybe it brought up some deep-seated fear that you've had. But seems to be coming through as a statement of affirmation for someone, so they don't take on karma that's not theirs to hold, and they can move away from this energy with the Six of Swords to some peace. Just know that whoever that's for, I know that's only for like one person, but I'm sorry when that comes in, I can't interrupt it. So somebody is coming through to just say, I'm at peace, and I want you to be at peace, and you don't need to struggle with this, and don't worry. You know, there's nothing wrong with you. You just went through a very powerful initiatory doorway, you know? Um, Death's door is a powerful initiation, whether you're holding that space for someone making that transition or whether through the Las Grandes Muertes, as Clarissa Placola Estes says in Women Who Run with Wolves, the big deaths in our lives, the losses, the significant relationships we've had to release, that piece needed to come through for somebody. But I really feel the message still translates for the collective. It's considering what you learned in that process of letting go in these times of these great losses, the losses of the old identity and the loss of the past and what it was supposed to be, and how you create from a place of unknowing if you feel like you've lost everything or if there's still a piece of you that was left back there. This is about calling it all home and integrating it so you can finally move away from the suffering and the feeling of that emotional inner turmoil of always feeling disconnected, feeling like you're never going to be in this place of peace and ease and release again. And I feel like reconnecting with this person in some way is teaching you the lesson of the transformational power of those deaths, that following death, there's always a rebirth. The cycle continues, and there's something that's rebirthing in your life that came from at one time you thought was dead and gone. And it brings forward this resurgence within you. And what does it lead to? 10 of Pentacles, Manadel, the honorable God. Inner and outer work helps one keep their job, protects against disasters. Yeah, this is just really this piece of you're safe. You made it through some really difficult transition. You went through some kind of tower. I feel a lot of you were tending to some major loss, some Las Grandes Muertes in your life. You were letting something go that you really considered foundational, foundational. For a lot of you, this was connected to a parent or someone you deeply, deeply loved, having them move on, realizing that was done, you know, or maybe it was through processing this loss, but there's sort of like this little bit of this divine play that, yes, there was this loss, there was this letting go, there's been this release in your life, but whenever there's a release, there's also this new space that's created for something new to flood in and fill where there's been a vacuum. It's the way the universe works. And I feel like what's flowing in for you right now is the very thing that you're here for. You know, there's something that you're building upon that rises up out of the ashes of the past. Okay. Really powerful. Let's see what's on the top of the deck here. Four of Cups, the God deflecting evil, healing capacity, protection from weapons, safety and travel. Okay. So it's interesting, because that Six of Swords came in, and Six of Swords is, it's all about moving away, from troubles. So I feel like maybe you've been held back for a while, with this travel piece, protection and travels. I think that it's safe for you to move forward with this thing. And if you're being called to reach out to somebody, or if you're being called to reconnect with somebody, or you're being called to hop on a plane and go out and see someone, I think that's like a directive from your soul, and you need to listen because it's going to give you a lot of peace. It's going to give you a lot of peace. And there's something about this, it's foundational for really rooting your next chapter. It forms the basis of the new chapter you're stepping into. You got a lot of protection here. Something has been unfairly kept away from you. And I believe what's been kept from you is the truth. It's some piece of truth that if you had known this truth all along, everything would have made sense to you. You would understand why there's been this separation. Let's do a cut of the deck energy, see what we got here. I feel compelled to maybe pull out another deck. Yeah, look at this. You're coming into alignment. It's going to be a lot of celebration around this, a lot of healing. It's soul reunion. I'm really feeling it. And it's like soul reunion squared, okay? It's not just like two people that have been kept in separation from each other that are meant to like join forces are reunited. And there's something beautiful that grows from that. There's something that results from their energies being combined again that brings something of value forward, right? Maybe you create something together. Maybe you build a legacy together. Maybe there's a lot of legacy energy in the atmosphere today. So I'm not sure what that's about. I feel like that came in really strongly for Capricorn too. So it could be you're dealing with somebody that has a strong Capricorn placement in their chart. It could be that this first started coming in for you, this inkling, this desire, this pull to reconnect in Capricorn season, like at the tail end of December into January. You know, might have been first when you really started feeling this pull, like I think I need to like reconnect with this person. It could also be that you have a Capricorn North node, okay, and so you feel very drawn in this direction to reconnect in this way, to come into alignment with this person, place, or thing, because this person feels like your home and they are your home. And by combining your energies with this person, you step into your destiny. It's something you're here to do. And I feel like it also completes like a karmic cycle. I'm getting big like karmic justice, something that was wrong to set right, you know, and it brings about a beautiful healing. Something grows from it. So we got Four of Wands, Mahasya, God the Savior. Reconciliation helps one to live in peace with everyone. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. This is coming to a point of delivery, a point of delivery through rebirth. I love the symbolism of all the stages of life that are coming into your reading. And I feel like that. I feel like you maybe have been doing a lot of looking at this. You know, maybe there have been some births in your life. Maybe this has you looking at things differently. Maybe some of you are being reconnected with a soul through a birth. Maybe there is a child about to be born, you know, that is one of your soulmates coming in. And there's a lot of celebration around this. You've waited a long time for this. There's a few different ways this is coming through for you all, but it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. We know that. What's on the other side here? King of Pentacles, Lahaya, the adored God. Obedience causes harmony and peace, calms anger in anyone. So this is some kind of conflict resolution, some kind of healing process. Could involve a King of Pentacles, somebody with a strong Earth sign placement, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I also see this as that destiny piece, you know, that came in with that Capricorn North Node, you know, placement, that Earth energy. Also, Taurus, the Taurus North Node is about stepping into what has true meaning. You know, I believe you've been kind of doing a life review, and this was brought about for some of you, it was brought about through a birth in your family that made you look at your own life differently, made you think differently about how you want to show up in life. 44:11 on the clock there, right? Maybe it meant it's time for me to cut off certain things. It's time for me to show up with more presence. It's time for me to move forward in a different way, you know, to come from my heart, to not waste time, you know, show up on a whole other level. This could be like making peace with baby mama, you know, somebody you've had a sense of separation from. Absolutely, I could see that. I also see this is really about um, realizing that what you really value at the end of the day, above all else, above ego, above pride, above any of, you know, the hills you used to stand on, and this is the hill I'll die on. You know, there's some piece here about you realizing that what you truly value at the end of the day is your peace, your harmony. That's more important than anything. And I think you've been doing some work to kind of um, address places where you have felt anger. You've been working through that in a constructive way because you know that moving forward and bringing about that peace and harmony requires you stay in a very grounded space where you're able to respond rather than react and getting this coming through. It looks good, okay? It looks really good, Aquarius. This is a beautiful message to come in. It looks like you're having expansion in matters of the heart and you're having some kind of soul reunion. It's bringing a moment full circle and it looks like a beautiful thing. I feel very compelled to pull out the Halloween oracle for you all just to see if there's any other kind of like overarching themes that want to come through for you. So let's see. Any spiritual guidance you want to pass on to the Aquarius collective working with this Venus Jupiter conjunction energy, how they can open up to this healing process, how they can um, move into a space of readiness to receive this union, how they can open up into the births that are ready to take place in their lives, the new beginnings, and how they can gracefully release any remnants of the old cycle, the heaviness that they've been processing, so they can really welcome that light back into their heart, into their life, so they can feel that infusion of joy and happiness. Thank you, Spirit, for any guidance you want to bring through for the Aquarius collective. Bottom of the deck energy, the witch, earthly weaver of the world. So it's interesting, right? Because we open this up with, was there something that was put on you that kept you separated from one that you were meant to be in connection with? And, it's really wild here. We have the witch, right? And then right behind it, we have Lady de los Muertos. Okay, I can't make it up. We were bringing this in the big deaths in life, right? Acceptance and equality is what's coming in here, right? So maybe you cast somebody in this role. That's interesting. What an interesting piece to come in. Maybe you cast somebody into this role and it was a lie. I just got like witch trial vibes. And maybe this is a bit of karma that I'm going to go out there. Okay, it's Aquarius. We can do it. It's Aquarius. Maybe this is holdover karma from a life where somebody was accused of being a witch and they suffered as a result of this. Maybe you are dealing with somebody now who has some kind of alternative type of spirituality. They look at things in a different way. Maybe you grew up in a very traditional sort of religious background. Maybe you grew up um, in Catholicism. Maybe you're a Christian. You have some kind of very traditional way, of viewing spirituality. Could be Muslim, any kind of established religion, right? And maybe there's somebody that has come into your sphere or somebody that you were connected with at one point who sees things very differently. Maybe they have a very alternative view on spirituality. Maybe they've kind of taken the path of the rebel, of the loner. Maybe they are a witch. Maybe they're on some kind of pagan path. Uh, Maybe they're a root worker, something along these lines. But it's something that fuels their fire and is part of their truth and who they are. There's a lot of misunderstanding about the path of the craft. It's about being in harmony with nature. It's about recognizing that I am that. I am a part of nature. And so a witch works very hard to make all things sound within herself because she recognizes that by caring for herself, she's also caring for the earth and vice versa. So maybe there's been some kind of misunderstanding here. Maybe somebody lied. Maybe somebody said, ooh, this person, did a working on you guys to keep you separated, or they did a love spell on you, or something along these lines. And you kind of cast this person in the role of the villain, you put them in the role of the bad guy. But there's this piece here about you have to understand and you have to accept. Maybe you weren't seeing this situation accurately, sort of like the death to your illusions. This wakes something up in you. It sort of also has you questioning your own beliefs. Maybe you're having your perceptions turned on your head. Maybe this uh, person is actually showing you that their spiritual beliefs come from a place of empowerment, that their spiritual beliefs come from a place of healing. This is the fire of transformation. It is weaving new worlds, bringing things together. There might be something you're learning here. And some of you may even be questioning your religious path. You may be thinking of changing your path. You may be exploring a new direction with the mummy. You might realize how much you feel constricted by the path you're on. Maybe you were just indoctrinated into it. You were born into it. Well, this is what your mom and dad is, and now you're this now too. But there's something about you recognizing the truth within yourself, and maybe it's been reflected to you in another. It woke something up in you that you can't deny. And you get connected with this, and it just brings you incredible joy. Wow, what a beautiful message. Looks like you have really somebody coming into your life that's a catalyst. They're definitely waking something profound up in you. Look at this. There's all these messages here for you. Cauldron, synergy, and healing. All right. Some of you are really opening up to a different type of spirituality, and it's rocking your world because it shakes your foundations. It shakes everything you have been told is the truth. But as you do, maybe this is actually connecting you with a soulmate. Maybe you weren't ready to unite with this person until now. Perhaps you're going to meet this person through that avenue, through exploring metaphysics or exploring this unconventional spiritual path. Maybe you bump into your soulmate. Okay, there's some kind of healing happening here though, and you're definitely coming into alignment. It's beautiful things. So let's just get one final cut of the deck energy there, see what we got. Vampire, emotional intelligence. All right, that's interesting. We got here. Okay, what we had on the bottom of the deck there. This is interesting. So we got vampire, emotional intelligence, death. The eternal cycle begins here. And we have midnight. Woo! You got kind of a spicy read, okay? The most magical hour of all. Ooh, we got like kind of Cinderella story vibes here, all right? Maybe it's time to go to the ball. Are you going to the vampire ball? Don't they have like a vampire ball in New Orleans? I think they do. I think I've heard about something like that. Are you going to a vampire ball in New Orleans? I don't know. Very interesting. Does it happen around New Year? Maybe there's something that's coming in. Maybe there's something that's coming in with this new year. We are at the astrological new year with Aries. It's the initiation point, okay? I have a feeling that something's going to switch around on you, something unexpected, something pulls through at the 11th hour, saves the day just in time. And there's some piece about what looks like an ending, what looks like a loss, what looks like a death, maybe by chasing something that you moved impulsively towards, okay? Because the moth goes to the flame, right? But the flame is also transformation. So maybe there was some route that you had to explore. Maybe it took you down into the muck of your subconscious. Maybe it seemed like an unhealthy connection or caused you to confront something that was really heavy for you to process. But it's sort of like getting through that. You've developed some kind of emotional intelligence, you know? There's some kind of emotional intelligence that you you got out of that situation. I think for a lot of you, it could have been through a connection where there was a lot of energy codependency. That's what I'm feeling. Like you kind of fed off of each other's energy. And it feels like it was more in a way that was sort of like triggering each other's shadows, you know? Very interesting piece. There's some kind of transformation happening here, though. And I think the unexpected is about to go down for you. Brings you into synergy and alignment with the soulmate. And the opportunity for transformation and healing here is off the charts. All right. 56 on the clock. Total alignment. Stay tuned.